Hey guys, Aaron here. Today I'm going to make a video showing you guys how to install an air helper spring kit on your truck or SUV. Now this particular truck's a 2008 Nissan Titan. However, the steps and procedures I use in this video can be used on just about any truck or SUV you got. Now the reason for needing this kit is, as you can see, we have a auxiliary fuel tank in this truck, and when the tanks are full, we got a bunch of extra weight in the rear of this vehicle. So installing this kit's gonna allow you to have a little bit more of a level ride when you're cruising down the road. It's gonna make things a little bit safer, and it's gonna make the truck handle a lot better. Now the particular kit that we're gonna be installing is the Firestone ride-rite. It doesn't require any drilling or welding, which makes installation pretty simple. So before we install it, let's go over the parts and tools you're gonna need to get the job done right. So as far as tools go, we'll need a 13mm socket, a 14mm socket, and a 14mm open-end wrench. I'm gonna need a 3/8 drive ratchet. I'm gonna be using my Milwaukee 3/8 drive power ratchet just to make the job go by a little bit quicker. We'll also need an air chuck with a gauge on it to know how much PSI we're putting into this system. This digital gauge is really nice. It makes things super easy when we're setting up our airbags with the proper PSI. And we'll also need a drill with a 5/16 drill bit. And of course, we're gonna need the airbag kit to install this on our truck. Again, this is from Firestone. They have a double convoluted design. It allows for 100 maximum PSI. We're never gonna put 100 PSI in these airbags just because we don't have that much weight to justify that pressure. However, they're very, very durable. They come with the brackets. The brackets don't require any welding or drilling, which is nice. We're gonna be running the manual setup. We're gonna be putting these air lines towards the rear of the vehicle, where there will be a Schrader valve where we can independently adjust the pressure in the left or the right airbag itself. However, if you want an automatic pump with the switch, Firestone sells a kit to install that, so you can actually adjust your PSI on the fly without ever having to get out of the vehicle. So with all that said, let's go ahead and put this kit together and throw it on the vehicle. So the first thing that we got to do is we got to put the assemblies together. There's a upper and a lower bracket that we need to mount to the airbag itself, along with a brass 90-degree fitting that we need to thread in, and this will allow us to hook up our air line and run them wherever you'd like. So with our airbag assemblies put together, let's go ahead and grab our extra brackets and throw these on the vehicle. So here we are on the driver's side of the vehicle. We're gonna do the driver's side first. I went ahead and took the wheel off, the vehicle's in the air, and I placed a jack stand underneath the frame of the vehicle, the left and the right side. I got a floor jack underneath the differential, and once the vehicle is stable on the jacks, lower the differential just a couple inches to give you some more room for our airbags to be installed. So the airbag and mount assembly actually mounts directly underneath the frame right here, and the lower portion of the airbag is actually going to mount to the rear differential itself behind the leaf springs. All right, so our airbag is in place loosely. Let's go ahead and throw on the hardware that attaches the brackets to the frame and the rear axle. So for the top portion of the mount, we're gonna be using this J-hook to attach to the frame, and then we're gonna be going over to the rear side here. We're gonna insert this nut on a stick that they gave us into the frame and put a bolt underneath, and it'll secure this bracket to the frame. And what's convenient about this is that we can actually bend it and manipulate it to where the nut is on the bottom of the frame when we throw our bolt in. So for the rear portion of the mount, we have this long U-bolt here we're gonna stick in, and it's gonna connect to the mount like that. And then we have this bracket here along with some of these long bolts we're gonna be throwing in and going underneath the axle to clamp it down. Make sure when you tighten everything down that you have at least a 1/2 inch clearance around your airbag, so when your airbag compresses, it won't rub up against anything and break it. Also, take note of any brake lines. Make sure the bracket isn't pinching any brake lines when you go to tighten everything down. So as you can see, our airbag assembly is installed, tight, nothing's loose. Good news is the passenger side is the same exact procedure. And after that, we can go ahead and route our air lines to the rear of the vehicle. Now, along with the kit, you'll have your air line here. This is 1/4 inch air line that is supplied. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this whole roll, cut it in half so we have equal sizes or equal lengths on each side. That way we're not too short on one side going to the rear of the bumper. So anywhere where you might have some friction on the frame or there might be a little bit of rubbing, use this tubing here just to insulate the wire and protect it from any chafing or friction that might occur. Okay, so now that we've routed our lines down to the rear bumper or the rear of the vehicle, we need to decide where we're going to be placing our little air valves here. The red lines connect, just push right into these valves, and then these valves will be sitting anywhere we choose. We need to pick a place that's easy to get to, but we also need to pick a place where the lines and the valves won't get damaged. You can go ahead and put the valves up by the license plate, up by the bumper, but then you risk stepping on them or something coming down and hitting them or damaging them. If you have a receiver, there's probably a perfect place somewhere around here where you can put them. That's where I'll be drilling my holes to mount these lines. Firestone actually does make a kit where you can zip tie a bracket to any place on your vehicle where you choose. It makes it easy, but I'm not going to be zip tying a bracket to the bumper here. Just going to be drilling holes probably right along here. Now that our holes are drilled, let's go ahead and attach the back of the air valve to the line. Okay, so now that the kit is fully installed, everything's put together, we need to see if it can hold air properly. In order to do this, we're gonna be inflating each side to 70 PSI, and then we're gonna spray down every connection with some soapy water to see if there's any leaks present. Now that we know that there's no leaks in the system, let's go over the pressures we're gonna be running in this truck. A good rule of thumb is that for 50 PSI, we're gonna be getting about 2,500 pounds of added support to our rear suspension. Now it's important to note that this kit does not increase the amount of pounds your truck can carry. You still have to respect the manufacturer's recommended weight for the rear of the vehicle. So in my particular case with this truck, we're gonna be running anywhere from 10 to 15 PSI in the airbags when the truck is fully loaded. The way I came up with that is that we have a 110 gallon fuel tank, and when it's fully loaded, it's gonna weigh anywhere from 600 to 700 pounds. A gallon of gas or diesel weighs roughly 6 pounds. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave something in the comment section. Make sure to check out the links in the description for the parts and tools I used during this video. Thanks again as always, guys. See you next time.